I shared the wrong thing. Now, can you see this? Beautiful. All right. Can you still see this now that I'm sharing?
Yes.
Beautiful. All right, here we go, people. Here's what I know. The Bucks lost last night. For those of you who know me and know me well, it puts me on edge. Here's what I will also tell you. I think that they ultimately just wanted to make sure that they closed out the series at home in Milwaukee on Friday night on Game 6. So, Bucks in 6. With that, here we go. We're going to get rocking and rolling, and we're going to move fast today. The best part about today is we have, excuse my French, a ton. I won't actually say it. Never mind. We have a ton of people. We have a ton of people to celebrate today, which I'm super stoked for in a very, very tough environment. Okay. What I'm also going to do, and I'm going to give you a sneak peek of a preview as to next week. I'm going to go very, very deep into statistics next week to give you an idea of where the market is and where the market's going. Here's why. There are two things that popped up on this morning's slides that are concerning to me that I want to dig deeper into. And I owe that to you guys next week. And I didn't want to rush it this week, being a little bit ill-prepared in terms of providing you the right data points to make sure that we're looking at the right things. Is that cool? All right, beautiful. So we always lead it off with our mission, vision, values, and beliefs and perspectives. And one of the things that I want to highlight today in terms of our belief system is success and results through people. And what you'll see through cappers, through celebrating people's and awards and the various successes that people have had. This week's team meeting is really all around success and results through people, as well as what we're going to be doing on Thursday for Red Day. And I want to jump into that here in a second. But first of all, we talk about success and results through people. We have a ton of people to celebrate. So here we go. First up, this person, get this, capped in 30 days. Her cap reset April 1st, and she capped before the end of the month. She's a mother of 3 young boys. Her husband is now in the business with her. Corey Bolt, congrats on capping in the month of April. Next up, Benji Cohen, Benji. Here's what you need to know about Benj. Benj knows that age is only a number. Why? This dude just graduated from the University of Kansas about 12 months ago, and the guy's absolutely killing it in the real estate game. So it doesn't matter if you're too young or you're too old. Age doesn't matter. Benji is proof that it doesn't matter what your age is to have success in this business. Benji, there's no doubt in my mind you'll continue to have killer success. Benji, congrats. Next up, Sarah Jo Dietrich, someone who is always giving back to our community. Her and her husband, Mark Fondo, doing absolutely great things, have twins. These guys will be out getting their hands dirty at Red Day on Thursday. Sarah Jo Dietrich, congrats on your continued success. Next up, I see her every morning walking past the office, walking the kids to Richards Elementary School. Jill Fink, congrats on capping in the month of April and doing it big. Next up, this dude manages 3 young daughters at home. His wife has a huge job over at Kohl's. Incredible people. Nick Fetting, congrats on capping in the month of April. Next up, Ann Kleber, I call her, she's part of the fabric, the community, one of the very first people to make the move and take the risk and jump over to KW at our innovation space over in Tosa. Ann Kleber, congrats on capping in the month of April. Next up, young mom, absolutely killing the game in the luxury, all the way from helping first-time home buyers all the way up to the luxury price points, all while trying to learn and figure out how to be a young mom while managing this hustle that is real estate. Kirsten Lindstrom, congrats on capping in the month of April. I almost said August. It feels like August out here in Lake Country today. It's like 10 degrees warmer. All right, next up. Another huge Bucks fan, my Bucks cohort and brethren, Dusty and Connie Lorino. I know they were at the game last night celebrating Connie's birthday, but Dusty and Connie, congrats on capping in the month of April. Next up, Sarah Jo's business partner and partner in crime, and also a brand new grandmother, Nancy Meeks. Congrats on capping in the month of April. All right, here we go. We're only halfway through. Ton of people celebrating success, which I love. Next up, Jackie Rubin, a mother of twins. Relatively newer to the real estate game, been in it for about a year, absolutely killing it, always kills her open houses and social media game. Jackie Rubin, congrats on capping in the month of April. Next up, Josie Santiago. Again, Josie's been killing it, has had a great 3-year run in this business. Josie, congrats on capping in the month of April. Next up, Ross Trefford. Ross Trefford is always giving back to our community, a new father, an absolutely incredible resource, thinks about the game differently, always asks incredible questions, challenges me in the way I think. Ross, congrats on capping in the month of April. All right, 3 more from the North Shore and Innovation crew. Molly Triggs, I see her out and about in the community. Her son, Henry, phenomenal athlete, really involved in the Whitefish Bay school system. Molly Triggs, she's got a daughter that wrestles, incredible wrestler. Molly Triggs, congrats on capping in the month of April. Next up, Lindsay Weber, mom of 3, killing it between the real estate game, her transaction management business, her rentals, her Airbnbs. She's doing a lot of different things and showing you how you can make an income through the game of real estate. And next up, the one who's always giving back and pouring into people, building out this thing called Agent to Agent that meets on Tuesdays, Gail Zeman, with a drink in her hand on the beach. No better way to portray Gail Zeman and her energy. Gail, congrats on capping in the month of April. All right, we're flipping it over to Lake Country.
Awesome.
Deej.
Love it. All right. Well, congratulations, North Shore Inno folks. And here we are, Lake Country. We have our fair share this month too. I want to call out Alicia Weedmeyer. Alicia, team member, got married, put in 80,000 opportunities to buy her own house, finally landed that and capped all at the same time. Congratulations, Alicia. That's awesome.
And I gotcha.
Thank you. All right. One of our very own, very new, Tracy Luca. Congratulations, new to the business and running it like a pro. Congratulations on capping. Super excited for you. Amanda Mergen of the Klosky Realty team. Love seeing this shiny face and her beautiful daughter, Liberty, bringing the joy to her clients. Katie Tusmer rocking the work this spring and making her Bark River Realty Group just shine out here. And finally, our very own Nikki Kunick. Congratulations for everything you guys have accomplished. Love seeing the success.
And I'm going to give a plug. I don't know where she's at on this, but I know Nikki's sitting in the room with me here in Lake Country. Guys, Nikki is looking for a house in Muskego. So if you can help Nikki accomplish her dream, her husband is a football coach at Muskego High School, a teacher down there. They're looking to move into the community. If you can help her, you would be doing her and her family a huge favor. So I'm just going to put a little plug in for her because I know it's been tough sledding out there in the Muskego market for Nikki. All right, next up, we got Red Day Logistics, okay? Here's what I'd tell you. We have a phenomenal group of people. As of this morning, we had 130 people registered to give back at Zachariah's Acres on Thursday. We have our donations set up for Mr. Bob's Under the Bridge. We got our donations set up for Operation Dream. Thanks to the team for everybody who participated from a donation standpoint. But here's what you need to know if you're participating in person on Thursday. First of all, for those of you who are on the east side, just plan ahead. The west side is about 10 to 15 degrees warmer, okay? Thursday is also going to be about 85 to 90 degrees, okay? So you need to plan ahead. A couple things as it relates to the logistics of what we're going to be doing on Thursday. First of all, if you haven't registered, it's not too late. You can still register today. I'll make sure to send out the RSVP link as we'd love to get to 150 strong, 150 plus. If you are participating and you're one of the 130 that's already signed up, here's what you need to know. We need you to make sure you're wearing pants, boots, and gloves because we're working on the farm, right? Bring hats, sunscreen, and plenty of water. What we could use and what we would really be beneficial if you could help bring, first of all, if you own a pickup truck, please drive it because we have some brush and trees and different things that we need to bring. I know I'll be driving mine. Rick Stallet is bringing his. Ross Trefford, I know you have one. Anybody else who has a pickup truck, we would totally appreciate it. Also, if you have chainsaws, pole saws, loppers, metal rakes, shovels, if you can bring any of those types of equipment would be incredibly helpful and appreciated. I know Terry honestly, what he told me on the phone was our group helps him prepare for his entire season because what normally takes him 5 or 6 corporate volunteer days, we get done with our group in one day. and he's incredibly grateful for it. So if you have a pickup truck, you have a chainsaw, a pole saw, some loppers, metal rakes, shovels, whatever you think you can do that you think would benefit the landscape at Zachariah's Acres, bring it, because you never know what we may need. Also, two other logistics for you. If you want a carpool or caravan, I will be at the North Shore office leaving at 7:45 a.m. If you want to ride, you can hop in with me. The only caveat is you have to listen to my music, so I'm no telling what that is. If you want a carpool or caravan, meet me at North Shore at 7:45, because I also know this: Terry does not like those who are late. He does not live with people who have excuses, so there are no excuses for why you can be late. If you want to leave from Innovation over in the Tosa, Elm Grove, Brookfield area, Josh will be leading a group leaving at 8 a.m. on Thursday. If you want a carpool or caravan from there, Lake Country Group, it's in your backyard. I figure you guys can get yourselves there. One other thing from a logistics standpoint, when you enter it in, if you plan to drive out, all you have to do is search Servants Way in Oconomowoc. There isn't an address. You just search Servants Way. We'll have open house signs and directionals to point you down the way. But I just looked at it this morning. Servants Way will pop right up on your GPS and map system. So we will also have plenty of water for the group. We may have a few extra cervezas for the end of the day. And we will also make sure that we have lunch provided by our great friend, Brad Tyndall with A+ Mortgage. Give it up for Brad Tyndall. All right. Here we go. One other thing, guys. So make sure if you want to participate, you haven't registered yet, there's always time. Many hands make light work. So the world is run by those who show up. All right, next up, we've talked a little bit about it, and Maureen, I just wanted to provide some oversight and logistics as it relates to the North Shore Grand Reopening event on June 2nd. So Maureen, what are the cliff notes of what these guys need to know about the event on June 2nd that a committee of people are planning to make a killer event?
Good morning, everyone. First of all, I want you guys to imagine, what do you do in your business, right? What do? We help clients have a new vision for their life, right? We work in a world of lifestyle, right? Helping people create a new lifestyle for themselves, creating a vision. When they walk in our doors here for a buyer consultation, for buyer consultation or closings, and agents are with them, what do we want them to walk in and feel, right? We want them to walk in and feel like we are boss. We got this going on, right? We want them to understand that we know what we're doing. We are running a business and we are creating a lifestyle environment for them to walk into and feel great, actually fabulous about the agents that they've chosen to work with, right? So the purpose of the grand opening party is to expose this fabulous environment to the world around us. It could be your clients. You can invite your family. We would implore you to invite your family and your clients, right? Your friends, your co-brokes. I watched a big time North Shore real estate agent come in here last Friday for a closing. He hadn't been in here since we renovated, and he walked around with his jaw to the ground. Like, are you kidding me? Right? So you want your co-brokes to feel like they've got an amazing partner when they're doing business with you. And that all matters. How we present ourselves matters. So I'm going to implore you all to put Tuesday, June 2nd on your calendar. We have a small committee that is planning this. It's going to be very, very well done. Shelley's is catering it. Shelley's is running the bar. Thank you to Natasha and Martha and a few other people that are handling the food and beverage, Molly. And it's going to be a very, very well done event. And we really are excited about it. We hope you guys are excited too. So put that on your calendar, invite your friends. Sydney's going to follow up right now with just a couple of details on how you're going to invite people, the vehicle in which you're going to do it. Sarah, are you on?
I am. All right, so I did go ahead and create some social media posts that I will send out after the meeting. So if you want to post this on your Instagram and Facebook stories, go ahead, and I will also include actual posts with some details attached that you can write below or include. So this is a good way for lead generation. People definitely ask you and say like, what's this? And you can explain what the event is and invite your spheres. So
beautiful. Guys, we have an absolutely, and I'm sitting here right now, we have an absolutely gorgeous space in Lake Country that was very welcoming an environment. Innovation that just recently opened, same thing. It's phenomenal. And North Shore was always kind of the one that was the old dress shop that was Peg Bradley, and we, kind of fit mismatched puzzle pieces together to make it an office. And then we I came back last year after COVID and I said, all right, we got to reimagine this space and provide an incredible environment, not only for our associates, but the environment that their clients walk into. So what I would also encourage you to do, it's a great opportunity to leverage us and leverage this event to make it a client event for you and your clients. So don't hesitate to utilize it. So we'll be getting you the details as to how the assets that you can and have available to you if you decide to take advantage of this event. Cool. And Lake Country and Tosin Innovation Crew, you're totally welcome to leverage it as well. Just as many of the agents on the east side did when Lake Country opened in January of 19. So there we are. All right. Yeah.
One last comment. I had somebody here ask about a dress code. This is business casual party, right? It's cocktail party. There'll be wine, there'll be champagne, there'll be beverages, and it's a very nice environment. So come dressed to impress. As I used to say around here, those who've been around for 8 years know that I used to say, dress presidential, dress like a boss.
Cool. All right, people updates. As a reminder, our team, my team, is looking to hire someone who's a servant leader with incredible positive energy. If you know of anybody that we should be in business with, that would love to come and be a part of our team's chaos and helping support you guys. I like to think that we have a lot of fun. It's a challenging environment and you get to learn new things every day. If you're interested, reach out to Josh Shadler. Know that our team is here to support through Megan's absence. We have a whole plan in place to make sure that nothing falls through the cracks. But if you guys know of an incredibly servant leader that's incredibly radiantly positive, hit us up. We'd love to be in business. And the best part is everybody on our team that we've hired has come from a recommendation from an agent in our community. And that's what we love. So if you know of anybody, hit us up. All right, Lindsay, what do these guys need to know around Tech Tuesday and building your database that just got easier for them to manage their database in Command?
All right, well, good morning, everybody. So there was a new feature released last week. So this has been in the works for a couple of years now, so I'm really, really excited about it. It makes building your database in Command so much easier. So there's still the option to use a Command import template, but now you have the option to upload a custom template. So what that means is if you are exporting your contacts from a personal Gmail account or iCloud or another CRM platform, you can actually take that spreadsheet and upload it into Command. There is no need to copy and paste columns from one spreadsheet to another. You upload that spreadsheet and then you're going to map those fields to the Command fields. So it makes this process so much more streamlined. It's a cleaner import, and you still have the option to use a Command template. Now keep in mind that that one actually is updated. So if you have an old one saved on your computer, go ahead, delete that one. You're going to use this new one that's in Command now. So if you're just starting from scratch and you're building your database and you need some type of spreadsheet, you can absolutely download the spreadsheet from Command and start inputting your contacts, your phone numbers, your email addresses, all of that. But this option to use that custom template is just going to make your lives so much easier. And again, you can see on the screen, this is what it's going to look like. So you're going to map those fields, first name, last name, full name. There's so many different options to just give you the opportunity to just easily come in here, upload that spreadsheet and map those fields, you're done. You also are able to actually see what those fields are going to look like after you map those out for each contact that is part of that spreadsheet. So if you want to go to the next slide, Charlie, just to show what this is going to look like. So you'll see if you are uploading 18 contacts, you can actually click on each of those contacts and see how it's going to pull in that information once that contact is imported. So really exciting new feature. If you guys have any questions on how to utilize this, feel free to reach out to me, set up a one-on-one. Training today at the North Shore office is open workshop, so come with any questions. So if you do have questions on this, it's a good opportunity to pop by.
Beautiful. Guys, it just made it easier. You don't have to work with one template. They'll take your templates, upload the 2,000 or 3,000 contacts you may have, you rock and roll, and all you got to do is implement. That's why Lindsay and Wooten are here to help you implement. Leverage is the new hustle. Create efficiencies within your business to go deeper in your relationships. All right, compliance updates. Lieutenant Kennard, what do we have this week as it relates to as is effects on transactions?
Hi, good morning, you guys. So Joni and I had several questions on as-is sales this past week, which was good timing because in the beginning of the month, the WRA actually highlighted as-is sales. So all of this is pulled directly from the WRA. First, they wanted to break down what does as is really mean. So usually seller does not want to make repairs or put any funds into the property. Reason number two, seller thinks they are exempt from providing a real estate condition report, so they won't make representations. Reason number three, seller is aware of defects in the property and thinks they can conceal them. Yikes. Four, seller thinks they won't get sued after closing if they sell as is. So let's break down each one of these. Reason number one, seller does not want to make repairs. So at the time of the listing, the seller may express this to us as listing agents, and we as listing agents may communicate this to the buyer's agent. However, there are some things to keep in mind. No one has a crystal ball about what a home inspection would reveal. There might be underwriting standards that would necessitate repairs prior to closing. So, even if that seller communicates that they do not want to make repairs, their hands might be tied in terms of lending standards, underwriting standards. And then the next piece I have highlighted because I think that as buyer's agents, this is what we really are concerned with when we see that a home is being sold, quote unquote, as is. So until there is an amendment or a notice of defects provided to the seller, it is unknown what they will or will not do to complete the transaction. So as is does not preclude a buyer from attempting to negotiate or serve a notice of defects. This is really important to understand that the merits of the contract and the inspection contingency still play out as normal as written in the contract. So just because a seller communicates that they want to sell as is, it doesn't mean that a buyer cannot make attempts to negotiate once they learn what they find out on an inspection. So again, I think that's most pressing to us as buyer's agents when we see that as is language. Reason number two, so seller thinks they are exempt from completing a real estate condition report. So, you're on a listing appointment, the listing agent must ask the sellers, are you really exempt, or is the seller just choosing not to provide one? The best document to consult is the WRA seller refusal statement regarding the condition, and this identifies who is exempt and who is not exempt from completing a real estate condition report. So if the seller cannot check any of the boxes as an exempt seller, they must, and then still choose not to complete a real estate condition report, we must turn them over to an attorney to get advice on that.
Steph, I think the biggest thing is if you have a seller who chooses to be exempt, that they get a legal opinion on that and that we keep documentation of the legal opinion.
Yes.
Because again, it will help you mitigate your risk in the event that you get sued for covering up what would be a known defect.
Yeah. Reason number three, seller is aware of defects on the property. So the WRA specifically highlighted flippers in this case. There is a myth out there that flippers are exempt from completing a real estate condition report. That's just not true. Someone who is renovating a home and has never lived on the property still must fill out a real estate condition report. So cut and dry. And then reason number
Yes, question, Steph, from the room.
Well, I mean, if they've never lived there, isn't that an exception?
The question, Steph, is if they've never lived there, is that an exemption?
No, that's not an exemption, and that is the hugest myth regarding around the real estate condition report. So I heard some. So, okay, so it's a personal rep.
Yeah.
So.
No, I was gonna say the only people that are as exempt from records are trusts.
Yeah, personal reps, trustees, conservators. And then in conjunction with having never lived on a property, where it's mistaken on having never lived in a property, homes that had never been inhabited are exempt. So that's like new construction, right? But if a flipper comes in, buys a house that has been inhabited before, they are not exempt from filling out the real estate condition report.
Perfect. I hope that is a very clear understanding of this. Uninhabited, the only uninhabited home is new construction. Okay? It's reason number 4.
Reason number 4, seller wants to avoid litigation. So sellers have a false perception that if they sell quote unquote as is, it is a bulletproof vest to avoid future litigation, but 100% false. As is may put buyer on a higher alert, but it is not a bar to litigation. And if it's proven that a seller knew of defects, a buyer may have successful misrepresentation claims. So another point that was made, of course, anybody can be sued at any time for anything. So it does not protect you. Additional as-is reminders. So as listing agents, we still have a duty to perform a reasonably competent and diligent inspection prior to listing and making disclosures if a seller refuses. So, you know, after you receive that real estate condition report from a seller, any seller, if there is something that you think and that you see in the home that conflicts with what they have on the real estate condition report, have a conversation with that seller. We need to remind sellers that we still have a duty to disclose any material adverse effects that we see in a home. And I've run into it before where I've noticed something a home that was not put on a real estate condition report and had to ask the seller about it. You know, it makes for uncomfortable conversations, but remember, those are the standards that we must abide to. Likewise, buyer's agents, when you're showing a home, you still have the duty to inspect the home at showings and point out anything that you see. And then just a reminder, so a buyer who does not receive a real estate condition report within those 10 days after acceptance, so if you've got that seller who's refusing to provide a real estate condition report, a buyer has the ability to exercise their rescission rights. So just another reminder. And that is what we have around as is. I do want to make a comment that just please come see Joni and I directly with questions around, well, any questions. I'd also like to use this as an opportunity to remind you guys that we would love for you to come directly to us versus going on Facebook and, you know, throwing these questions out to the greater good, greater audience, I should say.
Because shockingly, not all the advice you get on Facebook is accurate.
Yes.
So why wouldn't we go directly to our brokers and compliance brokers to make sure that we're protecting your backside?
Yes. And then this came up over the weekend, and I actually saw firsthand. I was helping an agent out over the weekend with the listing go live, and I saw this exemplified in real time. Buyer's agents, before you're going to write an offer on a home, please consult the MLS private remarks, all of the documents that are loaded into MLS, and please pay attention to who the team contact is, and so who to communicate with if you have questions. So many questions will get answered just by consulting the MLS private remarks and the documents. There's a lot of time wasted when we have to answer questions that we've already proactively communicated with everybody through MLS. So please take that seriously. It's just such a huge waste of time for people to answer questions they've already answered. Okay. And then I'm going to start putting this in everybody's ear before we get super annoying about it. But this year is the biennium deadline, so we must complete our continuing education. Our tests have to be completed. Our continuing education coursework has to be completed no later than December 14th. So it's usually around October where we'll start doing weekly reminders and start keeping track of who has completed it and who has not. So, you know, summer's coming, business will probably die down a little bit. Use that time to get your coursework completed. So, and that is all I have. Any other questions, please see Joni or I.
So Steph, today's May 10th.
May 10th.
They have to have this done by December 14th. That is 7 months?
7 months. Easy peasy.
Lemon squeezy. Get it done in the beginning of summer when you can just knock them out a few days here, a few days there. Because I know, newbie, that we will be calling you at 11 o'clock on December 13th, making sure that you get this done. Not to call anybody out. I had a little tickle in my throat there. All right.
Not us, 18 hours.
18 hours of continuing ed. All right, upcoming trainings and events. Cotty, with our Cotty catch-up, what do these guys need to know of what's going on in upcoming trainings and events?
All right, guys, not just Red Day this week. We have 2 other really, really awesome training opportunities. The first one, Charlie, if you want to go to the next slide, is going to be all about how to grow your profit share. So we talk about profit share, we report on how much money is going back to the agents. And a lot of people are like, wait, what is that again? How do I do that? How do I get a piece of that? So we're doing a panel with Jay, Janine, and Kevin Gardy, led by Charlie, all about how to grow your passive income through profit share. So we've even gone as far as to come up with some templates for emails you can send out to co-brokes if you really like them and had a positive relationship with them, to kind of help you with that conversation and getting it started. So bring your questions. It's going to be interactive May 11th at 10 a.m. via Zoom. We will record it as well, but hope to see you all there.
Last year, this was one of the most watched YouTube videos that we posted to the channel. And that told us, there's a lot of interest in this concept. And there's a lot of interest in learning from these 3 individuals who make more in profit share than what they paid into their cap. So if you're interested in learning how to take advantage of how all this free money that's getting pushed back to our agents' pockets, jump on and join us for the conversation on Wednesday at 10 a.m.
And then on, on Friday, we have a really great opportunity with Career Visioning Light. Career Visioning is usually a multi-day course all around hiring talent. If you're looking to grow your team, if you're trying to find a TC or someone like that, and you've either had really bad luck in your hiring that you've done in the past, or you're looking to kind of sharpen some of those tools, it's all about the hiring process and how to find great talent, teach great talent, and grow talent. So Scott Klaas, who is associated with Keller Williams in Germantown and New Berlin, is going to be teaching the course. You do have to register for it, and registration does close tomorrow. So if you are interested in joining us for a full day of training, 9 a.m. to 4:30 on Friday with Scott, email Kathleen and she'll get you all set up. So k.wooten@kw.com, and come learn how to find great talent and make a great hire.
Guys, talent is the differentiator between good businesses and great businesses. And if you want to scale, the only way you can do it is adding leverage into your life. Scott is a phenomenal teacher at helping you understand how to hire, train, and retain. That's the key. Leverage is more work before it's less. A lot of people hire people, great, they've hired them, and then they hand them a book and say, go figure this stuff out. And then why do you see some teams that just churn through people? They have no ability to retain. Hire them right on the front end, train them right on the back end, and you will retain great people. And you will ultimately, that's why you can continue to grow your business and scale your business at the highest level, because talent is the biggest differentiator in business. Okay. It's not, do you have the best product in this? There's a lot of differentiating factors. Talent is the number one thing. Success through people, right? It's a great opportunity if you're thinking about building a team, or you want to continue to scale your team, to jump into this training on Friday with like-minded people who are looking to do the same thing. I'd highly encourage it. So reach out to Wooten. All right, market of the moment. I pulled these and I saw some trends in here. So I'm going to be honest with you. This is going to be a little bit of the market of the moment light, because I'm going to go deeper into this next week to give you guys a better insight as to what's going on from a market perspective. I'm also going to break down price points for you, because there are some things that are starting to show up in the market that you need to be paying attention to. Also, I'm going to give a little plug, and this is a shameless plug, but I think it's absolutely worthy. In my opinion, one of the best books in this business that you can read right now is the Shift book. And again, I know a lot of people are like, oh, the Kool-Aid, or this, that, or the other. I'm just telling you right now, there are some phenomenal principles in that book that will help you set you up for success heading into the next 6, 12, 18, 24 months. There are some very core principles in that book that are very applicable as to what we're about to go down. And if you don't like reading, great. Get the audio book, get the Cliff Notes, do whatever you need to use. What was the Cliff Notes we used to do in college? Was it like Purple Monkey or Pink Monkey or something like that? You'd get the Cliff Notes, you didn't have to read the book, and then pass the test. Whatever you got to do, I would highly encourage it. So, market of the moment trends. What are we looking at? Last week, we talked about homeownership as a hedge against inflation. I sent these slides out. you can absolutely use this in your social media or marketing materials. I provided you the commentary here on the right as it relates to what it is and how it is that you talk about it. What you need to know with this slide is homeownership is an incredible hedge against inflation to protect your assets. Okay, putting money into real estate right now, especially when the stock market has been down, unless you buy the dip. Real estate is an incredible hedge. There's a great opportunity for you to use this as lead generation. The other thing that we talked about last week was talking about the 5-year baseline appreciation over the next 5 years from 2022 to 2027. Okay, what you need to know is over the next 5 years, they are projecting a compounding effect of about a 27% appreciation over the next 5 years. And if you recall, we talked about on a $360,000 home with 10% down, you get a net equity gain of $96,000 for 166% cash on cash return for that down payment. Again, I provide you this commentary because I think it's a great opportunity for you to utilize in a newsletter, social media post, or the opportunity to call your clients to have conversations to be the economist of choice. So I sent those out last week and I included again this week because I think they're very, very powerful conversations to have with people that are thinking about, ooh, do I get out of the market? Or, ooh, should I be doing this? Here's your objection handler, right? Now, when we look at April, okay, I'm just gonna move some things around. This is units sold. Units sold this year versus last year was down 13.5%. Units sold, just simply units sold was down 13.5% in the month of April alone. When we compare 2022 versus 2020, it's up 5.2%. Now, if you consider in April of 2020 is when everybody was staying at home, the fact that it was only up 5% versus April of 2020 is interesting. The fact that it was down 13% versus last year over the same period, very interesting. Now, let's look at sales absorption rates. This is the indication of demand and velocity. In the month of April, it was up 41.8%. Now, that's up 6.5% versus April of last year and up 90% versus April of 2020. Okay? What that tells me is that buyers are still remaining in the market and that the reason why there isn't more sold inventory or sold units closed in the month of April this year versus last year is simply because of the inventory position we are in. This is very, very healthy. This is what I'm tracking on a weekly basis as rates continue to rise and buyers who may opt out of the market because of affordability. The fact that the sales absorption rate at 41.8% of the total inventory went under contract in the month of April tells you demand is remaining very, very strong. That's positive. Now, when you look at units under contract, this is future business. This was the first thing I saw when I looked at this data and I was like, we got to dig into this deeper. The fact that units that went under contract was down 9% in the month of April versus last year is concerning to me because that tells you what future closings look like in the next 30, 60 to 90 days. So I'm going to dig into this data next week to help you look at what price points are being affected by this, where is this showing up, and how do we prepare our business for the third and fourth quarter, knowing what's coming down the pike, okay? When you look at new inventory units, again, I've gone back to when I talked about this in December or January, and I gave you my market insights as to 2022 and what's coming. I said the only thing that will prevent us from having more deals close in 2022 versus 2021 was simply a lack of inventory. And in the month of April, we had 16% less inventory, new inventory that came to the market this year versus last year. And last year was relatively light. So the fact that it was down 16% again this month versus last year in the same month is again concerning from an inventory standpoint. So we're facing two huge dominoes that are about to fall. Inventory isn't improving because units going under contract are outpacing new inventory coming to the marketplace, and rising rates and rising appreciation. So what's going to ultimately come down the pike here in the next few months is you're going to have buyers who are going to opt out and you're going to have low inventory. That's going to be a double whammy for those of us who aren't preparing our business in advance. Something you need to be thinking about, and why I'm telling you, you should be listening or reading the Shift book to prepare your lead generation habits today to plan for the future, okay? Now, when we look at it from a total inventory perspective, total inventory was down 14% this year versus last year in the month of April alone. So when I say units going under contract were down 9%, considering that considering that new inventory and total inventory was down around 13 to 14%. You can see where this is headed, can you? Low inventory, rising interest rates, and lowering affordability is going to be a really tight squeeze here in the next 3, 6, 9, 12 months. Okay, I'm going to dig into this deeper so that you can see at what price points this is happening first to start planning ahead. What I want you to hear from me is this. You should be planning your activities and your lead generation efforts today, knowing that those efforts show up 90 to 180 days later. And so you have to be segmenting your database and segmenting your population as to who you're targeting to prepare your business to weather the storm of what's coming down the pike. I'm not doing it to scare you. I'm doing it to challenge the way you think in order to challenge the way you act. Does that make sense? I'm only trying to be real with you, and I will continue to give you the data. So I'm going to dig deeper into this for you next week so that you can look at how you segment your database as to how this is impacting our business moving forward. Cool? Beautiful. And as a reminder, here was the grocery store script, Market of the Moment, that came out last week that talked about appreciation rates, inflation, and the hedge against inflation, despite what's going on within our world. Awesome. All right, wrapping that up, as we talked about celebrating people, we have April year-to-date in 2022 awards and rankings. So we're going to kick it off in the Lake Country group with Deej.
Awesome, you guys. We have some amazing numbers here to share and amazing success. Always exciting to start with the $1 Million Month Club. Elena Zeman, Mike Moen, Demira Bolton, Gallagher Lake Country, John Lorenz sitting in this room. You guys, congratulations on $1 Million Month. Our Home Run Club, one of my favorites, listing taken, contract written, and a contract closed. We see some of the same names, Elena Zeman, Bruce Gallagher, Cluster Property Group. Some new names, Griffin Peterson, Deb DeFair, Tammy Mayhew. Congratulations, sister. I think you're in here. There you go. Congratulations. You guys, all signs that you are making a difference in this market, and it is an interesting market, to use Charlie's word. April agent volume, Demira Bolton leads the pack at 2.2. Becky Thomas coming in at 2.2. Annie Stabler at 2.1. Mike Moen and Tracy Lukic also in the room. Congratulations on your continued success. Agent volume year to date, Demira leads at 5. Mike's coming in at 4.5, Mary Beth Milkey at 4, and you guys can see the rest. And now here we go, agent units. You guys control your units, and if you read that shift book and put your lead gen in place, these are going to continue strong. Demira's at 13, who says you can't succeed in a transition. Here she is. Mike's at 9, Elaine is at 9. Tracy, Frank Cinto keeps showing up on this board. Proud of you, Frank, way to go. Nikki Kunick, Mackenzie, great to see these numbers. Team volume, Gallagher Lake Country in April, 13.9. Congratulations. Team Trimble, 2.4. Klasky Realties, 2. Cluster Property Group, 2.1. And Bark River keep showing up. Year-to-date team volume, Gallagher Lake Country at 26. Team Trimble coming in there at 18. And then units again. Team Trimble, 29. Congratulations, hustle. Gallagher Lake Country at 16, Cluster at 14, and there you go. So congratulations to all of your success in April. Love to see this. And
here we go for North Shore and Innovation in honor of the Kentucky Derby and Rich Strike that won at 80 to 1 odds. 80 to 1 odds. 80 to 1 odds. It tells you odds are never stacked against you. So in honor of the Kentucky Derby, here we go. Fastest 90 seconds in team meeting. But again, celebrating an incredible successes. And one of the things that I'll actually touch on next week is, despite the fact that the way the market is trending, I will also tell you this: gross commission incomes that have been paid out is far exceeding the marketplace. And we'll talk about that a little hint next week. All right, $1 Million Month in the month of April. Big shout out, Bridget Ty, Kathy Shaw, Danielle Forrest, Ginger Lazovic, Julie Litkin, who broke her leg in February on a listing appointment, had $1 Million Month in the month of April. Casey Lopez, Kristen Stahulik, who spent 2 months in Florida in January and February, had $1 Million Month. Okay, my point of telling you these stories is you can build a life by design. It's all about how you set up your business in order to have success. right? Mara Krieger, who says you can't have success in a transition. Mara's living proof to it. Patty Eubanks, Sarah Hansen, Spencer Harvey, along with a host of others who had $1 million months. In the
Hold
months of
on, we
April.
got to do Megan Stale on there, having a baby last month and $1 million.
Yeah. There's no, I think Megan Stale would kill me for saying this. She had a baby February 15th, and she's had $1 million month ever since. And I think, yeah, John Lorenz says, Megs, we need to have more babies. So we can talk about that at dinner tonight. So that'll be an interesting conversation. All right, Home Run Club. In my opinion, this is the club you want to be a part of. One listing taken, one contract written, one contract closed. Big shout out to Champagne, Schweppy, Carmela Edwards. I see you, sister. Jason Seskowski, who was in Disney for 2 weeks, still was able to kill it in a home run month in the month of April. Julie Bolgren, Kyle Clements, again, another person who's built a life by design, spends a ton of time down in Florida, is able to manage and leverage his business in ways that he chooses. Lindsay Andrews, Nancy Brennan, Shauna Knight, Teresa Brown, William Lauer. Congrats on a home run club in the month of April. All right, here we go. Individual volume for the month of April. John Molitor absolutely crushing it in the month of April, 5.4 million. Sarah Oberbrunner, Sophia Berry, Abby Wall, Julie Litkin with her broken leg. Who says you can't kill it at 1.6? Mara Krieger, Bridget Ty, Kristen Stahulik, Lindsay Andrews, Joey Carini rounding out the top 10 for individual agents in the month of April. Now, year to date, agents control their units. You control who says yes to work with you, right? And earn the opportunity at their business. The market gives you volume. Molitor leading the way with 26 units. Sarah Oberbrunner at 19, Abby Wall, Sophia Berry, Lindsay Andrews, Nick Fetting at 12, Kristen Stahulik at 11, KG Sells Wisconsin. Check him out in his Lincoln Aviator. You'll know he's pulling up because it says KG Sells. Joey Carini, Jill Fink rounding out the top 10. Big shout out to Jill Fink. Jill Fink, congrats on making the top 10 individual units so far year to date. Next up, individual volume year to date. Molitor leading the way at 10.9. Sophia Berry, Sarah O, Abby Wall, Lindsay Andrews, Kyle Clemens, Bridget Ty, Jill Fink, KG, and Joey Carini rounding out the top 10. A lot of the similar names rounding out both in April and year to date. Now, April team volume. Falk Reuben Gallagher leading the way at 16.7 million. JSG right behind him, 15.2. SRG, Vol Group, Fernwood coming in big with a big month of April. Big shout out to Nick Janicek, who's already done more volume this year than he did all of last year. Nikki J, congrats. I talked to Kappa this weekend. He was singing your praises. Double Bolt Realty, On Point Realty, Desty's team, Grapevine Realty Group, and Reardon Real Estate Group with Tim and Sarah. Rumor has it Tim Reardon brought his Milwaukee Bucks world champion Milwaukee Bucks ring into the office today. Not to call him out or anything, but Timmy, I'm coming back into the North Shore. I want to check that thing out. All right, year to date, team units, JSG leading the way with 108. Again, agents control their units. The market gives you volume. Falk Reuben Gallagher, SRG, On Point, Duvall, Akihome, Nicollet Group, Desty's team, Fernwood, Fair Hinton Real Estate rounding out the top 10. And then year to date volume for team volume, JSG leading the pack, FRG, Stale, On Point. Big shout out to Marcus Auerbach and his team, Casey Lopez and the group. They've been absolutely crushing it this past 2 years. Duvall Group Real Estate, again, shout out to Laura Brewster, continues to do big things. She also has a broken leg. Nicollet Group, Fernwood Real Estate, Double Bolt Realty, Desty's team, and Akihome with Amanda Schroeder, Elizabeth Mitchke, and the rest of the crew for Akihome, rounding out the top 10 for team volume. So, guys, that's where we are. We are rounding it out. Thank you for joining us on Tuesday, May 10th. Reminder, we have the Profit Share panel on Wednesday. We have Red Day, which is one of my favorite days of the year. I hope to see you out at Zachariah's Acres. I will bring the cervezas, so if you haven't showed up, come check it out. And hope to give back and pour into our communities. Thank you for everybody to participate in that. And we look forward to continuing to serve you at the highest levels, and be on the lookout for more information as it relates to what I'm seeing in the changing market next week. And we're going to talk about a pendulum that moves suddenly. It moves gradually, then suddenly. Gradually, then suddenly. That's how pendulums move. So we'll talk about that next week as to what I'm seeing in the market. All right, Mandy's going to jump over to the new listings and buyer needs for the North Shore and Innovation crew, and we'll convert over to the Lake Country meetup for the Lake Country team. Here we go. Guys, have a great week.
Guys, we got a special opportunity. Jay just told me about at 1818 North Water today. They're doing a brokers open. So if you guys want to swing by there, and then I can go ahead and get started with any upcoming listings. Yeah, Kristen Schlingman.
It is 367 Tanager Drive. In my neighborhood in Grafton, Cedarburg Schools. $560. It'll go live, delayed the 16th, live the 19th. And 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, beautiful patio, private backyard. Wonderful. 4-car garage.
Nice. Congrats.
Can I do a single party on here?
Yes.
So I have a duplex on Humboldt. We're gonna do showings Friday night. It's 3 down, 2 up, 1 bath, 2 cars. Garage with 2 additional spots, newer windows, mechanicals, and blah, blah.
Price?
Oh, $299. And there's tenants, leases, and in July. 1050 and 1100. My friends, like, they never raise the rent on people, so they could definitely go up.
When is it available?
Friday night, we're gonna show it. So if anybody wants to call me to make an appointment, I think we'll be after.
Okay. Who's next? Yeah, go ahead, Anna. Guys, hold on. I can't hear.